If you are ready to go and get rich this year, if you are ready to go and smash your goals, and if you are ready to have your family and friends look at you and say, you're too obsessed with money, you're too obsessed with your goals, well then, my friend, you are in the right place because the year is 2024. And in this video, I'm going to be going through and sharing my goals, my plan for this year, and that is the focus. How do we achieve the highest level of profit? How do we go and achieve the success that we want to have in 2024? And I will tell you this, it's going to be a little bit different because I will tell you, for most years when I do planning, for most years when I go and I make out the goals for the year, it's this, it's the big, huge vision board of like, here's all the different things we're going to accomplish and do. And there's SMART goals, or there's, quarterly and annually. And there's like 27 different things that you have to accomplish. And there's 50 different ways that we're going to go and accomplish this. And, it rarely has worked for me in the past. I will say it really hasn't. But this year I did things a little bit differently because, as you may or may not know, about 3 months ago now, maybe 4 months ago, I paid Dan Henry $100,000 to fly down to his place in Costa Rica and spend 2 days with him and had him help me plan and design a launch that we did. And what was fascinating was, as I went down and spent this time, it was shocking to me how much money this guy had made doing very, very, very little. Right? Like he very few things overall that he's actually going and doing to achieve this. And the message that I got from him was less, simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. Right? And so we go, I try to make things complicated with the launch. He pulled me back in. He's like, just do this. And we crushed it, right? We crushed it with the launch. We did, over $250,000 in sales off of that. And we've got recurring on the back end of that as well. And so that launch went great, right? Then I had my daughter, my wife gave birth to our daughter, right? Christmas came along and we're sitting down to do the annual goals for next year. And I look at what I'm going to do and I start planning out all this stuff. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I go and ask Dan for some feedback on what it is that I'm going to do? And I kind of gave Dan my plan. I was like, here's my kind of 90-day goal and my my year-long goal. And he looked at me, or over Voxer, and he goes, do you want to make money? And I'm like, yes, I do. I would like to make money, right? And he goes, so then why are you doing all these other things? Just do this. This worked for you. And I'm like, but what about blah, blah? He says, but why, right? And it was this moment where I realized that there was this old version of Josh, this old version of myself that has been telling myself for my whole life that if I want to achieve a lot of things, or if I want to have success, I want to make money, I want to do whatever, right? I've got to do a lot of things, and I overcomplicate what the goals are, right? And here's Dan coming in and being like, dude, you should just do like one thing the whole year, like one thing, right? Just like one aim, one goal, and have one path to go and get there and do nothing else but that. And as I sat there and I listened to his voice, his voice message back to me, like there was this stirring inside of me that was like, but I want to do this or this. It can't really be that simple. And I remember, right before Thanksgiving, probably maybe a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, I had a friend of mine over to my house. His name was JR, and he has a fairly large company. I think they're doing $400,000 or $500,000 a month. And he looked at me and he said, "Dude, the biggest mistake that you made that now that I fixed, because this was 8 months ago when he originally told me this. He's like, you're being distracted. Just focus on one thing." And he told me the story. He's like, when we did this, everything changed. And he said, when he talked to, I think it was Cole Gordon, he was like, Cole Gordon was like, well, maybe we can get this to $100,000 a month. And then he's like, well, maybe we could do $300,000 a month. And then they got it there. And he's like, maybe we could do $500,000 a month, right? And then they got it there. And he's like, then they went to $1 million a month. And he's like, there's no way we can get past this. And then they went to $1.5 million, and then $2 million. And now they're doing $3 million a month. Cole Gordon is, right? And he's like, we just stayed focused on the thing. And my buddy was telling me this. He's like, we did the exact same thing. We have one offer with, one upsell on the back end. We're doing between $400,000 and $500,000 a month, doing one thing, and we just focused, and we only do that. $400,000 or $500,000 a month they're doing in revenue. And it reminded me of that conversation because here is, a very successful guy, Cole Gordon. Here's my friend JR, who's very successful. Here's Dan Henry, who's made tens of millions of dollars online, all telling me that the secret to going and getting my goals and, hitting it, achieving the revenue, the money, the success, whatever it is, however you define that, is just focus in on doing one thing, right? Like be very, very focused, very, very locked in, and cut out everything else. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't get fancy with it. Put your head down and go. And so this year, like I've got a big goal, right? I have told myself, and I told Dan Henry this. I said, I want to make $1 million in take-home revenue for me personally, like take-home money, not revenue of the business, but my take-home pay being $1 million in a year for 2024. And when I actually sat down and did the math, and when I actually sat down and looked at the plan of how I was originally going to get there, it was so complex and so confusing. And then when Dan was like, hey, just do this and keep doing it and laser focused over and over and over, when I looked at it from that perspective, it was so simple. And like I literally looked at it and I put it on paper and I'm like, that's it? Like I have one goal and one focus, and I'm basically going to be doing 4 things all year. Like one focus, and there's only 4 things I do on a weekly or a monthly basis. That's it. The whole year, right? And, I have a goal. And, my goal, yes, we have a revenue goal. Yes, I have my personal take-home goal, right? But really what my goal is, the thing that I know is going to get me to the revenue goal that I want is I believe that for the last, 5-6 years that I've been in this space, I have been learning a ton, and I have cycled, and I have made money and lost money and built programs and done services and sold all these things. And finally, in the last 12 months, I feel like I have actually found my thing, the thing that it like actually works. And not like I want to convince myself that it's working, not like, oh, I came up with this new revolutionary idea. No, like literally, like the process that we put together has made me millions of dollars. But like since we launched the program, just a couple months ago, my clients and I have done over $800,000 in sales with no ads. One of our clients came in and had $200,000 in sales in the first 2 weeks, right? One of our clients went from selling $2,000 offers to $25,000 offers to then now raising it to $30,000 for their offers. Another client came in and sold brand new offer for $15,000 in week 1. And it's like, I feel like I've found this thing with the Golden Mike method and Golden Mike Mastery that can really, truly not only align with the goals that I have of creating freedom in my life and creating freedom in the lives of those we serve, but like literally, truly change the lives of the people that we serve and provide a real transformational solution to people in the sales space and in the online sales space, like in its simplest form. Very, very simply, very, very clearly. And I told Russell Brunson this. I remember, when I shut down my business at the end of last year, I had, the coaching business and Russell was like, dude, why'd you shut this down? Like, I could have helped you here. Why are you being invisible right now? And I said, this was, we went and saw Jordan Peterson. He's like, why are you invisible? Right. And like, when you have Russell Brunson, like asking you like why you're doing something and he disagrees with it. And it's like weird, right? It's like, well, there better be a reason. And I remember we were sitting there like at the Jordan Peterson event, right? It was me and him. And I looked at him and I said, because I haven't found my message yet. I haven't found the thing yet that I feel like God has been calling me to. Like, I feel like I'm close, but I still feel like there's work that needs to be done. And so, it took me 3, 4, 5, 6 months of the beginning of last year to really find and design the thing, and then paying Dan Henry $100,000 and then like actually having this thing that works. And I'm like, I feel like for the first time I have something that I know in my deepest core will fundamentally change like the way that people sell. Like, it can get someone a crazy, incredible result, completely change their life, help them sell in a way that they've never done before. And it's so simple. And I feel like I can finally build a program that can like take over the marketplace, if you will, or like, really leave a mark to where when people come into it, they go, there was before Josh Forti's program, before Golden Mike Mastery, right? And then afterwards. And, like a Sam Ovens or like an Alex Hormozy or like a Dan Henry or like a Russell, right? Like having that signature thing. And so my goal for this year in the business is to build the single best program in the marketplace, bar none, for entrepreneurs to get and sell high ticket clients through a podcast, right? And yes, there are other elements of that. Yes, you're going to build a brand and your influence and your network and all that. But like the primary focus is how to get and sell high ticket offers with a podcast, right? And set yourself free as an entrepreneur. Sell, $15, $25, $50, $100,000 offers to wealthy clientele, to people that can pay those prices. I want to build the best program for that. And I believe that with the results that we've gotten and with the testimonials already that we've gotten and the simplicity and, effectiveness of the program, that we can do, $2.4 million next year pretty easily with, over $1 million in profit. And that's with, built-in affiliate programs or referral, programs. That's with, cost to acquire. That's with paying, the people that I work with or that work with me like full-time, really, really good salaries. And so we have this goal, we have this vision and this focus to say, okay, here's the goal. We're going to go and we're going to make $2.4 million this year. And I'm going to take home $1 million. That's the goal. That's the target. And we're going to do that by transforming the lives of the people that we go and serve with this program. And like, I expect my clients to make $10 million or $15 million this year, right? Maybe $20 million, who knows, right? Because we want this to be such a transformational process that nobody can come in. Not a single person should be able to come into the program and follow every step and not get a result. Every single person that comes in. And so when that really became the focus, and I cut out everything else, and I said, hey, I'm not optimizing for views. I'm not optimizing for looking cool. I'm not optimizing for the events we hold. Nothing. I am optimizing for building the very best program in the marketplace for helping entrepreneurs, launch and sell high ticket offers with a podcast, right? That's the focus. And when that became the focus and when we had the revenue target in place, I realized there's like 4 things that I've got to do all year, right? And it's, I've got to do the teaching of the program. I've got to do the selling of the program, right? I've got to have my own podcast, and I've got to do sales calls, right? That's it. Those are the 4 things selling the program, do the podcast, sell the program, do 5-day challenges, and teach the program. That's it, because we're going to be selling it 2 ways. And so everything else that we do is going to be systemized out to where my focus is just those 4 things. And I feel like my life has been, particularly as an entrepreneur, has been somewhat in pursuit of freedom for the last 7 or 8 years. It has been something where I've had little bits and pieces that have worked, and I've taught those little bits and pieces, but I wouldn't say that my life or the model that I had was something that everyone or that someone could aspire to, because it was chaotic in a lot of ways, right? And I dealt with the chaos and it was fine and I liked it. But I really do believe that with this method and with this model and with who I've chosen to become and the discipline that I've put into my life this year, to help and serve others, like I do believe, and I want to be someone that people can look at and go, oh, that's someone I can model. That's someone who has his priorities right. He's committed to his faith and to God. He's committed to his wife and to his daughter, right? He has a family and he's managing all that alongside entrepreneurship. He's created a business that funds his lifestyle, that's profitable, that his clients love it and get good results and rave about it and would buy it again. And not someone who just made some money real quick, right? Not someone that just went out there and, oh, I made $1 million, cool. But like life is in shambles, screwing over clientele, doing something that's, a hack or not sustainable. That's not what I want to be, right? And so I'm very, very excited for this year. And our plan is very simple, right? We want to build the best program possible in the whole marketplace for entrepreneurs to sell high ticket offers through a podcast. And we want to do $2.4 million in revenue, at least. We're going to run 4 or 5-day challenges, and we're going to follow the Golden Mike method to get clients in between those challenges. And I'm going to be very, very involved in the program. I'm going to be teaching twice a week. I'm going to be in there and involved, like knowing my clients, right? Like getting to really understand their issues, spending time with them, and, being someone that people know, okay, he really cares about the clientele there. And then obviously I have personal goals with, with my wife, and we have travel goals and goals in the church and goals with our relationship and all those things. But really when it comes to the business and when it comes to where our focus is, like I didn't think I could realistically shoot for a higher number than this. Like I could have done 5 million. I don't think I could have done 5 million or even 4 million or anything like that without sacrificing some other quality of life, without sacrificing time with my family or without sacrificing quality of the program or mental health or whatever. I really do feel like this was the cap, and this is like what we're locked into and committed to. And I want to be the example of it. And so we're going to be documenting this whole process, obviously doing the podcast interviews, putting out content on YouTube to kind of document everything. But my entire focus and my team's entire focus, locked in, all distractions removed, is to build this program and to serve our clients. And I believe that if you as an entrepreneur can find a real problem that people have, which for me, I know the problem my people have is they don't know how to get in front of, like, entrepreneurs do not know how to get in front of their ideal client that can pay their prices. They don't know how to do it, right? And because they don't know how to do it, they have a hard time selling their offers. And we solve that problem. And I believe that if you solve a real problem for real people and focus, like lock in focus, that you can go and like make more money than you've ever made before. You can have more success than you've ever had before. And you can create a life and a reality that is by design without sacrificing, your health, your family, your faith, and all those other things, as long as you prioritize those things correctly. So very, very excited about it. We will continue to document and share as we go along, but that's the target. That's the goal, being very transparent with it all. And looking forward to the people that we get to serve. If you would like to learn more about the Golden Mike Method and Golden Mike Mastery, the program, and how we sell these $15,000, $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 offers, and how our clients have been getting great results, I will link down below a link where you can go and get on our email list. We've got a 5-day challenge coming up here in Q1, which will be in February, and we also have a free guide, the Podcast Profits Guide, that you can download that kind of also outlines that as well. So thank you so much for listening. Welcome to 2024. It's going to be a good year. Cannot wait to see what you do as well. Hopefully we can connect at some point, maybe have you on the podcast if you're out for it. And just appreciate you. And thanks for subscribing to the show. If you haven't subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you're listening on audio, make sure to subscribe there as well. And we will see you guys next time. We got exciting interviews coming up this month. It's going to be good. As always, hustle. God bless. Don't be afraid to go out there and create influence, create wealth. Just make sure you use that money and that influence for good. That is all for today. I'll see you next time. Peace.